Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite hospitality and events industry podcast, Two Chicks, Three Seats. As you can see in the episode title, we have made it to the big episode number 50. And to celebrate that accomplishment, we have a very special guest with us today, Tripleseat's co-founder and CEO, Jonathan Morse. Jono is here with us today to discuss some important Tripleseat product announcements that are going to make Tripleseat an even more necessary resource for success in the hospitality industry. These product updates were just announced publicly last Thursday, so this is all currently breaking news. So listen up, everyone, and if you have any questions on what you hear today, you can send us an email directly, or you can email the Tripleseat support email address, which are both linked in the episode description. So welcome, Jono.
Woo, that was a lot of words.
Right? She memorized all of it too.
Welcome.
I know you were practicing that. It came off spectacular.
Thank you. But so to start off, for those that may not know you, Jono, could you give an intro on yourself and what inspired you to create Tripleseat?
Sure, I can, Rachel.
Thanks.
So you're lucky that I'm not starting off with a dad joke like I did with Kate.
I really thought that you were going to, though. I was kind of
I thought about it, but I used them all up. So I don't have any new ones. So Kate or Rachel, why don't you start us off with a dad joke, and then I'll tell you who I am.
What's the cat one?
No, see,
there's a cat one?
You want to do that? All right. What do you call a pile of kittens?
A meowton.
There you go.
But
All right. So who am I? I am the founder of Tripleseat, and my background has been in restaurants and hotels forever. Normally the follow-up question is, why did I find Tripleseat or found Tripleseat? And the reason is, the long and short of it is this. Back in 2008, I did an event when I was the VP of sales for a software company at a restaurant in Chicago, who's now a customer of ours. And the event didn't go off as planned because she lost the paperwork to the event. When I asked her, why do you have paperwork? Why aren't you using software? She responded to me that nobody in the restaurant industry uses software. It's all pen and paper. It's all notebooks, stuff like that. So I did a little research on it, and she was correct. So I set out to fix that problem by building Tripleseat, and that's where we are today. So that is how I founded Tripleseat. It was to help restaurants and hotels manage their event business, which fast forwards us to why we're here today to talk about TripleseatDirect.
Jono's a pro here. He knows how to get the transition set up into the next topic.
That was my transition, but that's fine.
All right, didn't mean to step on it. Let's rewind that.
Jump right in. No. I was just, I was going to say, well, now that everyone knows and loves the Tripleseat core product, why don't you tell us about TripleseatDirect and what prompted you to create this type of product?
Great question, Kate. I'm glad you asked. So TripleseatDirect is a new product that we did a soft release back in December. And then we kind of launched it for real about, I would say, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So what TripleseatDirect is, really simply put, is a way for restaurants customers or hotel customers or catering customers or unique venue customers to go onto their website and book an event and plan the event directly from the website. So for example, if you wanted to do a birthday party on a Tuesday, you could go to the website of the restaurant that you want to have it at, choose your date, choose your time, choose your room, and then choose your menu items or packages. All the details, like if you want to do a birthday cake and you want to do a cocktail hour and you want to do, dinner or whatever the case may be, choose all of it, and then pay for it, and then hit submit, and it's all done. And, for the restaurants, especially now when they don't have as many event managers as they used to have pre-COVID, this is a great way for the restaurants to book business, because now on your website, you have a 24/7 event manager that can take all the booking information, and then you can get paid directly, and it goes directly into Tripleseat, and all you have to do is cook the food and make them happy.
Well, you mentioned private events, but I feel like right now, especially catering is big in the hospitality industry. I mean, I know we're kind of through COVID, not quite, but I do think that more and more people are doing catering now and having, events at their homes. So how does TripleseatDirect help those people as well?
Right. So TripleseatDirect is actually two products, not to confuse everybody, but it's called Direct Book, and that's what I just described earlier. And then there's TripleseatDirect Catering. So direct catering works in the exact same fashion that I just described, where somebody can go onto the restaurant's website, and then they can do three styles of catering, if you will. One is they can choose the date and the food and the time, and actually put in the place where they want to have the catering, or they could go in there and say, hey, I'm going to pick this catering up. So think of if you're going to do for the 4th of July, you want to do ribs and burgers and chicken, and you want to do it for 50 people. You can order all of that directly from the restaurant, and you can go pick it up. And the third is the same, which is instead of picking it up, the restaurant can deliver it to you. So you have really, at the end of the day, with TripleseatDirect, you have four options. The consumer can book an in-house event, if you will, or an on-premise event, if you will, or they could book an off-premise catering, either for pickup, delivery, or takeout. So the big overarching, the reason why we did this is because during COVID, there was an interesting little stat that came out, right? It takes 66 days for a consumer to change their behavior or to change their habits that they're used to. During COVID, they had 365 days, more than 365 days. So if you look how consumers are absorbing technology for restaurants, it's all around takeout and delivery, right? And also maybe the menus online and paying online. So they've had 365 days to kind of understand how that all works. And that got fast forwarded real fast during COVID. And what the technical term for it is called omnichannel, right? An omnichannel.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, here it comes. So an omnichannel is an Amazon-like experience, right? So you go onto Amazon and you can order shoes, you can order oil for your car, and whatever you want. And it's all right there. So it's one channel to get anything you might want. So now restaurants have to provide that same experience for consumers going forward, because this is what they've come accustomed to. An example of that is all of a sudden you took off your pickup and delivery of food on the restaurants, and you just said, I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm just going to take it away. You're legitimately going to piss off the customer, right? Because they're used to it. They're like, hey, I used to like ordering pickup and delivery from you guys. Why did you take it away? So that's a change of behavior. So what we've done is we've just done it in bulk, meaning now consumers can go on, instead of choosing a hamburger to be delivered or a pizza to be delivered, now they can order 50 pizzas, and those 50 pizzas can be delivered or picked up for catering. And we also did it for people who want to do something in-house, meaning they want to book something in the restaurant, but they don't want to go, they don't anymore, do they want to go through the rigmarole of putting in a lead and then waiting for a response and then having a call back. So all that stuff, they kind of want it now, like instantly. And you want to have that experience that they've become accustomed to, and that's what TripleseatDirect is doing for restaurants, for hotels, and for unique venues. On the flip side of this is that we didn't give all the control to the consumer. So if somebody books something like, they want a bowl of potato chips on a Saturday night, it doesn't automatically happen, right? So the restaurant has an opportunity to accept or deny these caterings or in-house events. So the restaurant still has control over if they can do it or if they want to do it, whatever the case may be. And they also have a bunch of control within TripleseatDirect to make sure that it's not being delivered to like Lord knows where, it's nowhere near them, right? So they can put like a geofence around it so they can restrict the delivery area. So it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And the last point is that it's a new revenue stream, right? So your website right now is, like I said earlier, is acting like a 24/7 salesperson. It's always on. People can always book. Like if they decide like, hey, I want to do a birthday party for 50 and they decide to do it at 10:30, they had that idea at 10:30 at night, they can legitimately go to your restaurant and book it away, right? So you don't have to wait until you're open, which is at 11 a.m. or whatever the case may be. And my final point here, it's all commission free. It comes directly from your website. So we don't collect any kind of commissions or any kind of fees. It's part of TripleSeat. So you don't have to like give your profit away on these events on these fees or commissions.
Which is basically that's the big defining thing between us and the competitors who maybe do something similar to this, is that most of them do charge commission. Well, they all do fees for orders, and I think that the point you made before about restaurants just stopping doing takeout and delivery because they feel like they don't have the means to do it anymore. But I think TripleSeatDirect allows them the opportunity to maybe get rid of those, third-party apps, if you will, that they were using for delivery and for ordering, and that were charging them for each order or catering order or whatever it may be.
Right. I mean, they don't have to get rid of it. I mean, we can coexist. Right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of business comes from the third party's website, but here you have a link. It's just a simple link that goes onto your website from TripleSeat that they can use in partnership with an outside website from other places.
Right.
The other thing about it is that web link that I said that goes on your website can actually go anywhere. So it can go on EventUp, which is our web our restaurant directory. It can go right there. It can go on your social media. Like you can put out a picture of a big plate of ribs and says catering available now and have that link right on it, and they can click right on it. So that link is just a web link. Can go anywhere. It can go into social media. It can go on your website. It can go on your email signature. It can go wherever a web link can sit. It can sit too. So Facebook, right? And again, you can do a whole program around it, which is like, hey, pick your holidays. Like 4th of July is coming up. Did you know we do catering? Come get 10 pounds of mac and cheese, right? And we'll either deliver it to you or you can pick it up. Or if you want to do a full-on catering where we set up tables and chairs and tents, we do that too.
Beautiful explanation.
Right?
Mind blowing.
Mind blowing. And the customer, like with our core product, the customer owns all of that data, right? So they own it for marketing purposes. They can use it to send out email campaigns. They can use it to follow up with customers. So all of the information that that people enter when they're entering a direct booking, TripleSeat stores that information so that our customers can use the data later to.
Oh yeah, it's just like anything else with TripleSeat. Once the booking's in, it's theirs, right? Yep. So they can, of course, use TripleSeat like a CRM, customer relationship management tool, where they're like, hey, listen, this person did catering with us for a birthday party last week. We could send out another email marketing saying, hey, listen, if you ever have any other catering, or if you want to do something in the restaurant, you can do that too. It's just another revenue opportunity for the restaurants, right? Especially if they do like pick up a delivery catering, which they might have never thought of doing because it just wasn't available. You just can't order that way online directly. But now you can. So they can start building all these programs around it. And the thing is like, they don't have to be in the restaurant to take the orders, right? You can be on a beach in Fiji and the orders will still come in. It's just about executing the orders once you get them.
Someone has to cook them.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. But again, you can accept or deny. Let's say the restaurant's closed on the day they want to do it. You can turn that day off, right? Let's say you don't want to do any in-house events on a Saturday, right? So you can turn that off. Like I said, the restaurant has complete control over, their hours, their availability, like what they want to do. You don't have to do both. Like with the, maybe you don't want to do in-house directly, right? So fine, turn it off, but you do want to do catering. That's fine. Turn that on. So it's really simple to set up. It's actually, people can set it up themselves. It doesn't involve any kind of super training or technical knowledge to turn it on. It will take literally 20 minutes to set yourself up. All you're doing is building out your menu packages and you're good to go.
Sounds good.
Here you go.
So for those who are listening, Jono, who do you consider to be the ideal customer or venue type to be using Tripleseat Direct?
I would say any customer, to be honest with you. What I see really this having an impact on is family style or QSR style companies. Let's say somebody wants to get 5,000 chalupas, right, from Taco Bell. They can just go to Taco Bell's website and click on it and then order, a bazillion chalupas and they can come pick it up, right? Or if Taco Bell wants to deliver it, they can have it delivered. Same with, I was looking at Cracker Barrel the other day. Cracker Barrel is doing a small version of catering where they're building out these, for the lack of a better word, picnic baskets, picnic boxes where people can get fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn, and then it comes in a box, right? And they can come grab it and take it. So there's a lot of these style companies that want to do it. Other places are like Dave and Buster's, right? Where you want to buy 1,000 tickets, you want a birthday cake, and you want to do it at 12 o'clock. Perfect for that. So somebody can go in right in there and just book it and it's done. So it's just really convenient for the customer to book this way. And it's also, you're going to keep on your profitability. And like I said earlier, it's like having a salesperson 24/7. So you're just taking orders. And again, that's how consumers are working now, right? They've had 365 plus days. And now their expectation and their experiences are one of that they're used to, which came from the pickup and delivery. We just take it and put it on steroids.
Yeah. Well, with that said, and with the 365 plus days that people had to sit and think and order takeout and delivery,
right?
What do you have any predictions for the hospitality industry moving forward, into the rest of 2021 and then into 2022?
Yeah, I do.
Loaded question.
Yeah. The restaurants as a whole, there's a huge labor crunch, and it's not just happening to restaurants, it's happening to everybody. And the labor crunch is coming from people saying, hey, listen, I want to do something different. And maybe they went back to school, or they had some time to do some research and they thought this would be cool, and they get some training so they can get into that position. So there's this big shuffle. But if restaurants maintain their attitudes towards salary, healthcare, and what have you, that they had in 2019, they're never going to get the help in 2021, right? Because, this was a big, 2020 was a big reckoning. COVID was a big reckoning, and especially around the idea of healthcare. So I see, I see restaurants treating servers and bartenders and chefs more professionally. My prediction would be that they're going to be paid a salary versus being paid hourly. I think consumers are still going to tip. Even if you say don't tip, I think consumers are going to tip. It's just kind of part of our nature. But those tips can be pooled, maybe go back to the restaurant. It depends. You can slice it and dice it different ways. But I do see, like, instead of being paid hourly, you're more on a salary. And with that salary comes more benefits. So that's one prediction I see. Another prediction I see is the end of huge menus, right? Everybody had to pare down their menus for COVID. I don't see that coming back, like the Cheesecake Factory style menus with 10,000 things. It's just too much cost, right? And too much management. I think paring down a menu, consumers would be okay with that. I think pre-COVID, people were in menu wars, right? They were like, we have more shit than this guy next to us, so come to us. I think it's going to get more pared down. And then the other thing I see happening is people are going to go out in groups. There's still people that are going to be like table of 2, table of 4, but events are taking on more of an importance, right? Because people want to reconnect with everybody that they, didn't connect with in the past 18 months. So I see large parties becoming a thing, and restaurants are going to have to figure out how they're going to configure their restaurants to accommodate these large groups. And typically with a large group, it just churns once. It might churn twice, right? You might be able to say, hey, listen, we can do a large group like from like 6 to 8, and then another large group from like 8 to 10. Typically what they've done is we've taken a large group and we put them in at 7 and they're out at midnight. But again, because of COVID, this 90-minute restriction when people were in restaurants, now they're used to it, right? So when you go up to them and say, hey, listen, I need the table, nobody fights back because they understood. You could do the same thing with events, which you can say, hey, listen, we can block you from here to here and here to here versus just giving you the run of the room for the entire night. So I can see that, like, group business having a churn inside of it, which would be great.
Yeah.
Those are some of my predictions. I've got more, but.
And just so everyone knows, we did talk about the healthcare issue and all of those things in a past episode. I don't know, Rachel, do you remember the number? It was like 48. I think we just did it.
Yeah,
we
something
talked
about that.
about how to get people back working in the industry, they're going to have to start offering them a lot more as far as, healthcare and benefits and just perks instead of just the tips.
Yeah, I mean,
hourly.
A lot of times people look at restaurants as like people that work at restaurants, depends on the style, as an act of desperation, right? This is the only job they could get, or they were like, this is, whatever the case may be, is like, because they didn't go to school, this is the only job they could secure. And to be honest with you, it's really not true. And if you treat people like, I know you have to take this job, you're going to have huge turnover because, and the service is going to be sucky, right? Because people are going to be like, you treat them badly, they treat us badly, we don't like the restaurant. It's just a vicious cycle. And if they start treating everybody inside the restaurants in a more professional manner, people will look at it as a more professional job.
Like
career
rather than just
absolutely
a stepping stone.
Versus a stopgap or something that case. And Danny Meyer's been kind of talking about this for a long time along the no tip side of it. But it's bigger than just the servers, right? And I think consumers should start expecting higher prices, because having a margin, a profit margin of like 3 to 5% is
Ridiculous.
is honest. You can't maintain it. What did they say? 17% of the restaurants went out during COVID. That's actually pretty low when you think about what the original prediction was like around 50%. But it also shines a light on profitability for restaurants, right? Because everybody's trying to keep their prices low so people come to the restaurant, But at the same token, if you're not making any money and you can't end up paying your servers, right? It's unsustainable. And so I think consumers should now expect that, prices are going to go up. And that's just, and if you want your local restaurant or brewery, whatever the case may be, you should pay it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the oversaturation in the hospitality industry before COVID maybe was one of those things that it shed light on the issue at hand. I mean, they've been operating on those margins forever, but at the same time, they don't have to, I mean, there's ways that they can, like, charging more, treating the employees better, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go hog wild, right? But food prices go up and down every day, but their menu stays the same. So, just off the top of my head, it's people got used to those QSRs, right? And they can look at the menu on their phone. I'm personally not a big fan of it, but whatever. If you can make your menu flexible, meaning like a tomato was $1 and then all of a sudden there was a drought in California. Now it's $1.25. And that 25 cents cuts into your margin. If your menu's online, you can have a dynamic menu. So maybe your hamburger with a tomato was $15, but now because of the drought, it's now $16, right? So that would be, to me, like, help keep the margins right where they're supposed to be as prices go up and down. Because a lot of times people don't change the prices on their menus because they're printed.
They're printed menus, yeah. It's like,
right. But they're like, I'm screwed. And it's like,
you don't have to change it.
Yeah, you technically don't have to be screwed. And I think that's what those codes, whatever they're called, really, and by making those menus online, opens up a whole new door of what you can do with your menu.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was a restaurant person, right? We would have to print the specials every day, right? And on an old printer that would always jam, and it'd be like, what a pain in the neck. And you would go in every morning and you'd be like, what am I printing today? Right? Because the chef would tell you what, and you type it out in fancy words and give it a price. But those days are over, right? Now you can do the exact same thing, but you can do it online. It's just like, hey, listen, yes, my hamburger was $15 yesterday, and yes, it's $16 today, but it could be $14 on the day before. Right. Because all of a sudden, it rained in California, and now tomatoes are $1 or 85 cents. And so again, the goal here is to keep my profit margin. I'll make a number up at 15%. Right. And you can change your prices up and down, but your profit margin stays the same.
Yep.
I think I just came up with something.
I think you did.
Let's build it. Let's do it.
Into restaurants. Let's open a restaurant.
Yeah. I'm blowing Rachel's mind right now.
I am. I'm just thinking about how the Cheesecake Factory could never make menu updates with the novels that they have printed out.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But the thing is, it's like, think how much I'm sure they're profitable and they're a well-run ship. But at the same token, because their menu's so huge, their food costs, like, could you imagine trying to do their food costs every single day?
Or the ordering. Can you imagine those poor people who have to order for like, oh my God. I mean, I'm sure it's not like, when I used to do ordering, when I managed restaurants for the chef, it's like you call at the end of the night and you leave messages and you're like, one order, like lettuce mixed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? 2
Yeah.
bagged apples green.
Whenever,
I'm sure they don't do it like that, but
whenever I called in the booze, I always felt like I was having the world's biggest party. Yes, I need six kegs of Budweiser, 14 bottles of vodka, and be like, wow, I'm having a good time.
it's gonna be awesome. I love Colin Martinetti. That was my favorite order. All right. Well, I do think we're out of time, unfortunately. We could talk for another hour or so, but just so everyone knows, I do want to let people know that you can, if you're not already a Tripleseat customer, you can sign up for Tripleseat Direct by going to tripleseat.com/TSDirect. That's the official website. You can also go to tripleseat.com's landing page, just tripleseat.com. And if you go to product, it's under the product there, and you can click there, fill out the form, and someone will get back to you, in minutes.
You can also, if you're already a Tripleseat customer, you can go in the app itself, click on the marketplace, and purchase it right from there.
Yep. So everyone go and purchase your Tripleseat Direct.
Go for it, man.
Making big moves. Big
Do
moves
it.
in the hospitality industry.
Do it. Make money. Get rich.
Thanks for joining us, Jono.
All right.
Thank you for our 50th episode. I feel like we should
Yay,
have
round of
confetti or
applause.
something.
Congratulations to you guys for 50 episodes. That's great. I look forward to the
50.
next 50.
No,
Yeah.
me too.
You'll get them all. You'll get them all cranked out by next week, right? We'll do
yeah.
like 5 a day.
We're
Yeah.
doing 2 this week, actually. So, Yeah.
There you go. All righty.
Thank you.
I'll talk to y'all later.